to Amanda's Bookish Adventures. It is day 23 of Bookmas, and this was supposed to be another vlog, but I'm in a reading slump, so I'm not going to put so much pressure to read. I might read the last week of December, but for now, I'm just going to take a break. I am filming this on the 20th, so I think maybe I will read in a couple days. I need a break from reading. So I have binged a couple shows on Netflix, and I binged two of them that I didn't know were books. So I watched The Maid and Dare Me. So The Maid is a Netflix limited series, and that's the one I'm going to start with first. So basically it kind of starts off with the main character. I do have a description for her, but for right now I don't know her name because I'm going to read you the book plot. She is in an abusive situation, and she flees to the, basically takes her daughter and runs. Well, she gets into a lot of trauma, or well, not trauma, trouble for taking her daughter without the father's permission. So it's basically her surviving, trying to win custody, and a lot of other stuff she's overcome. And I found it so interesting. And I did not know it was a book. I've never even heard of this book. Which, that's why it was surprising, because I've never heard of this book. And I watched this entire series in like 2 days. And there was talks of season 2, but the way it ended, the creators were like, we could do another season with her character. Or we could kind of start over with a new character that is in a domestic abuse. And there were other characters in the series that they could use for sure, or they could do a brand new place, a brand new setting. But it was so good, and I watched it, and I plan on reading the book next year, but I got the description right here. So at the age of 28, and I think she's younger in the TV series, Stephanie plans on breaking free from the roots of her hometown in Pacific Northwest to chase her dreams of attending a university and becoming a writer were cut short when a summer fling turned into an unexpected pregnancy. She turned into a housekeeper to make ends meet with tremendous grip on her dream to provide her daughter the best life possible. Stephanie works days, takes classes online to earn a college degree, and begins to write relentlessly. The Maid explores the underbelly of the middle-class America and the reality of what it's like to be in the service. I became a nameless ghost, Stephanie writes about her relationship with her clients, many of whom she don't know from any other cleaner, but who she learns plenty about as she begins to discover more about her clients' lives and their sadness, love. She too finds hope in her own path. So her writing as a journalist that gives her voice to the servant worker and then pursuing the American dream, with the properly line, Maid is Stephanie's story, but it's not hers alone. So that's the plot of the book. Let's see if I can find the plot of the old show. Sorry, it's taking me a minute. So it says, single mother Alex turns to housekeeping to make ends meet as she escapes an abusive relationship and overcomes homelessness to create a better life for her daughter, Maddie. And I really liked the show. And I thought it was a masterpiece. But the book sounds different, and I plan on reading the book in the new year, like I said. But after I read the book, I want to rewatch the show because it was so good, the TV series. So I know it is based off of the book, but the TV show is absolutely really good. If you have Netflix, please check it out. So the second one I binged is Dare Me. It is on Netflix, but it is not. Maybe I'll tell you the plot of the TV show and then read you the plot of the book. That might be better. So, Dare Me is an unflinching explosion of volatile female friendships, jealousy, loyalty, and dynamics of power in a small town. Hold on. Small town. Come on, it's an old phone I'm reading this off of. Power in a small town, Miss Western small town, peering behind all-American facade. This series divides in the cut-world throat of competitive high school cheerleading, following the fraught relationship between two best friends after a new coach arrives to bring in their team to prominence. Part of a coming-of-age story, part of a small town, part of murder mystery. Dare Me expose physical and psychological extremes that some young villains are willing to endure. Now, I loved the series, all right? I did not even know that was a book series, that it was based off a book. It was on Netflix. I'm in a reading slump, so I picked it up and watched it in 2 days. I've had a lot of time since I got my booster, and I couldn't even lift my arm over my head. But I was in a reading slump anyway, so I've been watching a bunch of Netflix. I've never heard of the book. I didn't even know. It's not a Netflix original. And all I know is that I watched it, but I know they only covered like the first half of the book. I do believe there is a second season. I don't believe it's canceled. I checked because of it's a cheerleading and there's football games and people in the stands. I think the reason why they haven't filmed the season 2 is because of the the plague that we've been dealing with. I do know, like, you could get copyrighted on YouTube if you're saying it, so I'm definitely trying not to say it, but the sickness that has been around since 2019. But I really, really enjoyed it. It was another thriller. Well, Maid wasn't a thriller, but this was like a thriller. It was just really fast-paced. It was interesting to see how the coach came in and how she is this coach from this big world, and she moves to the small town, and she's helping this team. So I'm really intrigued because of the first season that we haven't even got to the second half of the book. So I'll read you the plot of the book. Let me go back to Goodreads on my old phone. It's definitely old, so it's... So this is what it says. Addie Hanlon has always been Beth Cassidy's best friend and trusted lieutenant. Beth calls the shots, and sorry, my dyslexia. Abby carries them out, a long established order of things that have brought them to a pinnacle of their... Hold on. So I think I was a long established order of things that have brought them to the pinnacle of their high school careers. Now they're seniors who rule the intense competitive cheer squad, feared and followed by the other girls until the young new coach arrives, cool and commanding, and an emissary from the adult world just beyond their reach. Coach Colette French draws Abby and the other cheerleaders into her life. Only Beth, unsettled by a new regime, remains outside the coach golden circle, wagging a subtle but vicious campaign to regain her position as top girl, both with the team and with Abby herself. Then a suicide focused on a police investigation on coach and her squad. After the first wave of shock and grief, Abby tries to uncover the truth behind the death and learns the boundary between loyalty and love can be dangerous terrain. So that sounds very different from the show I watched. So I plan on reading the book next year. And I plan on, as long as Netflix still has the series, I plan on watching it again. I did get both those books, or at least I have Dare Me right now, currently available off of Libby. And I reserved the Maid book off of Libby, and I plan on reading them sometime January, February. Kind of just depends on how my reading month is going in those months. But I did not even hear about these series. I think I heard about Maid from a trailer, but I never heard about Dare Me. Didn't even know it was a book. So that really surprised me that it was. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of other books, series, television, or movie that are books that I have never heard of. But I'm intrigued to see next year if I can find some more. I definitely love to talk about this channel. I love the book adaptations that are popular that's coming out, but I'm really surprised about these because I don't know if you watched One for the Money or something. It's a movie or something, and I didn't even know that was a book, and I enjoyed the book. I preferred the movie, but I think that would be I think it would have done better as a TV series instead of a movie. I legit think it would have done better. I enjoyed those two, The Maid and Dare Me, as a TV series. We had more of the source, the reading source, but there was so much information in each episode that they were each like 40 minutes long. They were so good that I'm intrigued to read the material. And I didn't even know they were books, so I'm definitely intrigued to see the material and if they'll continue on, because I know Dare Me has probably been put off because of That Shall Not Be Named, so I don't get copyrighted. But Maid it's a limited series on Netflix, but there is possibility of a season 2 with Alex, even though in the book her name is Stephanie. But the way they left it off, I don't know if they should do that. I think they should start it off with another girl who is dealing with domestic abuse. Maybe it could have been a side character, because there was one side character early on in May that I think would be a perfect season 2. But, sorry, try not to get snuck up on. I think Alex's story is done for Maid if you watch it. I think if they do a season 2, because it was a limited series before there was even talk about season 2, that my light is getting to be so wrong. So it was a limited series. So I definitely think that if they do a second season, I think I'd be more intrigued to see a new character and a new storyline. So if you've watched Maid or even Dare Me, please let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Or if you've read the source material, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Or if you've found out about any other books or movie series that aren't really hyped, that are movies or TVs, please let me know in the comments. That is it for day 23 of Bookmas, and I really hope you enjoy the rest of the videos. This is the last one I needed to pre-film, and then I will be editing this. I hope your December is going great, and I hope you and your families are safe and happy, and I will see you guys in the new year. Bye!